Hi, and welcome to Integrative Wisdom. Integrative Wisdom. As always on a Tuesday, the focus is on what Integrative Wisdom is all about and something to do with the connection between body, mind, spirit, and soul. And today I was thinking about where we find ourselves as not only a nation, but as a world, and everything that has been unfolding, and the back and forth, and um, it's been a lot, right? It's been a lot. So anyway, I started thinking about why people look for help uh, from their mental health experts, life coaches, energy workers, um, medical doctors. And usually I would guess it's because there's something that people want to change, something they feel like they can fix, or something that they want to stop. Usually it is more about I don't know if the word is negative aspects. Maybe sometimes people will go to a coach because they want to achieve something. And so maybe there's a little bit more emphasis um, on a more positive aspect of I want to achieve this goal. There's something that I want, and so I'm going to work towards that. And that may not be an avenue where people are really focusing on change, stopping, getting rid of, that kind of thing. So I was just thinking about um, how integrative wisdom approaches this and what our focus is really on. Um, the focus, the focus is on the soul and on that deeper, truest, most complete part of who we are. And there are times when challenges rise up that actually will spur us on to getting more in touch with that particular part of who we are. And I was thinking about now where we are faced with downtime. We are faced with not being able to go and do all the things that we have been doing, maybe that we felt gave meaning to a meaning. I don't know about purpose, but meaning to our life. You know, we could go play, we could go do enjoyment type things, entertainment type things, um, feel good type things, um, I look good type things, all of those externals, right? And now those have been, pretty much the plug has been pulled on those. And so I kind of came up with this phrase. Are you ready? Fire drill for the soul. It's like a fire drill. It's like, okay, what are we going to do? What's our plan of action here when everything else has been pulled away from us? And that kind of came along with me bringing these out today. So the story of these are little hearts that were hand blown, glass blowing, and you can't see it really. Oh, maybe a little bit right there. You can see the iridescence. Um, when we first moved here, there had been a really bad fire in Escondido, and a really cute community that we actually had thought about buying into was the Lake Hodges community. We chose here in East Valley in Escondido, but what happened out of that is that there was a glassblower who lived in the community, and she saw all of the 100-year-old oak trees that had burnt. And she went out and she gathered up some of the ashes from the fire, and she proceeded to go home and use the ashes to create these hearts. And then what she did is she sold the hearts and she gave the proceeds to her neighbors whose homes had burned. So out of the ashes came something really, really powerful and really, really beautiful. So I thought, if this is a fire drill for our soul, um, what are the practices that you are perhaps going to implement? Where's your fire extinguisher? I don't know if that works or not. But integrative wisdom, it's interesting. It's interesting to me. I trained in the field of psychology and in the field of social work, and it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. We've had the field of psychology for over 100 years, talk therapy, and what I noticed from a body mind perspective is that when people would retell the story of whatever it was that was upsetting them, they went right back into the physiological state that caused them anguish, and it was very difficult um, to stop that and to be able to pull out of it. And so, with integrative wisdom, what we've always said is we don't look back. We try to listen in to and look for the signs that are pointing us in a more whole direction. And usually that's not back there. And so we want to give ourselves the opportunity to be in that place of listening in. And so a lot of times that's what you'll hear me say, right? Stop, listen, pay attention. There's so many tools that we can add to that. We've talked a little bit about energy work. We've talked about chakras. I'm a Reiki master. Okay, I'm a Reiki master. And what I found as I went on into creating this practice of integrative wisdom is that I wanted people to feel the energy for themselves. I wanted them to learn about that and not just be a passive recipient of me doing a hands-on energy treatment. And so that's one of the main components is I don't want you to be passive. I want you to be fully engaged in your journey, to be fully engaged in listening in and then learning those tools, so that when there's a fire drill for your soul, you will not despair. Or if you do despair, you won't despair for very long. We all go down. We all have our moments when it just seems like life is so heavy. But when we hold on to that kernel of truth, we're more than the physical. We're more than what we can see. We're more than what we do. We're connected no matter what we believe, even. I remember one time I heard someone say, and I can't give them credit, and maybe you guys will know the source, but it's like God is the ocean, and we're the waves. And sometimes it's our time to rise up, and then we go drop back in. And then it's someone else's time, and they rise up. So if we are that wave, we are always in the ocean. of more, right? And so, anyway, that's pretty much the integrative wisdom for this week, out of the ashes. And sometimes it helps to have a guide. Sometimes it helps to have a companion to guide. And excuse me, the Soul Catalyst program is designed for that. It's what I trained for. It's what I um, was brought here for. Took long enough for it to get here, but it's here. And so um, let's work. Let's move beyond just wanting to change things, wanting to fix things, wanting to stop. Let's move into just really claiming the beautiful positiveness, the purpose, the plan, the full song to sing. And that's it, folks. That's what I got for this week. Take care.